right, so this is coming from 14B, page 295, the digestive system. I hope you enjoyed the video on the amoeba sisters on the digestive system. Okay, so again, the title of the chapter is energy, but we're talking about digestion. So let me just see here. Oops, not want that. Okay, so digestion. We're going to be on page 295, but you're going to be taking notes. You've already taken the time to read, thank you, and to do your terms, but we're going to reiterate all those things and talk about them more. So, what is digestion? What is digestion? Yeah, it's basically the process of breaking down food. Okay? You don't necessarily have to write that down, but I'm going to. But just know that it's the process of breaking down food. Okay? So then, we want to talk about mechanical digestion and chemical digestion. Okay? And if you notice that they talked about these same things there in the video, all right, so let's start with mechanical digestion. What do you think of when you think of mechanical?
Like a machine.
Yeah, like it's breaking something, right? Or you know, I don't know, I can imagine. But anyway, it occurs when food is crushed or ground into smaller pieces. It's when it's broken down into smaller pieces. So make sure you're taking notes today. Okay, so chemical digestion. When you think of chemical, you think of chemicals, right? And those chemicals are used to break the food particles into molecules using enzymes or acids. Okay? Now, chemical digestion. Okay, well, yeah, it moves on to talk about that. So then it talks about absorption and assimilation. We're still on page 295. If you want to follow along with me in your book as you can, that's fine. But during this time, fat molecules are separated from one another so that the body can use them more easily in order for things to be absorbed. Okay? So once mechanical and chemical digestion has taken place and they've broken down your food and it's ready for a process called absorption. And what is absorption? That's when your body then takes in the nutrients and the vitamins, or necessarily the nutrients, not necessarily vitamins, but the things that you need to help keep your body healthy. So absorption is when your body takes in nutrients, okay? And assimilation is when your body uses those absorbed nutrients. So it absorbs them and then it assimilates them. It takes them in and then it uses them. So after your body has absorbed those nutrients, then it uses them really to power cellular respiration, which we briefly talked about in the first semester, but you'll get more into that when you get into biology, okay? Everybody got that? Now we are on page 296. So the alimentary canal, okay? Now this is a tube that is composed of several different digestive organs, and it is aided by the accessory organs, which she talked about in the video, which accessory really is like additional things that can be used that may not be necessary but can be used. But these organs really do have some necessary purposes, okay? So, the digestive organs. Both digestive organs and accessory organs involve the process of digestion. It starts with the saliva. If you're looking with me on page 296, you see that the food enters the mouth, or the canal, which is called your mouth, right? And when you chew on that, that is performing your mechanical digestion, and basically it just sort of grinds and cuts the food into smaller pieces. And then it mixes with the saliva, and that's what it's talking about there. And that's when it begins the chemical digestion. And that saliva comes from the salivary glands, okay? And that chemical digestion begins with carbohydrate. It's breaking down the carbohydrates and starches and things like that. Okay? So if you're referring to, that's actually referring to number 1 in your book as we're going through. You can, if you want to look at it that way, but if not, that's fine. So when you swallow, your food moves down through the esophagus, which pushes the food toward the stomach. Okay? And that action is called a peristalsis, okay? And that continues down through the alimentary canal, and that is referring to number 3. Number 2 is talking about the smooth muscles that are used. And I'm just writing these numbers. If you want to refer back to your book on page 296, you can. But the peristalsis, you heard the Amoeba sisters talk about the peristalsis as well. The peristalsis, which continues down the, I know I'm not saying that right, the alimentary canal. It's like, I know it's like, but there's not like elementary. Let's look it up. Because I'm not elementary. It's like an ailment. Let's just look it up. So, now, the food then enters the stomach. And it becomes like a pasty substance called chyme. I know that is correct on the pronunciation. And yes, in Bible class, I've looked up a lot of words, but there are some words that I do not, none of us know how to pronounce in Bible. But we're learning. Anyway, so let me just tell you a little bit about the salivary gland, back up to where we had talked about. It contains your saliva is actually about 99.5% water. That other 5%, they say, is like enzymes and mucus and electrolytes, just in case you wanted to know about your saliva. Thought I would throw that in. Now, that food enters down into your stomach, which if you're looking at page 296, you see number 4. In that picture, it's pointing to your stomach. And that chyme passes into the small intestines, where the chyme is further then broken down even further, and then the pancreas then does its part and chimes in and releases enzymes into the small intestines. Now, small intestines, can you imagine? Does anyone know how long, if you took your small intestines out and spread them across, how long or what distance they would be? So we're going to determine that your intestines are somewhere between 20 and 25 feet. Or you could say it's about 3.5
feet
times the length of your body. Okay? All right, moving on. Now, so the liver. Let's talk about the liver. What does the liver do? It produces bile. Where is that bile stored? In the gallbladder. Okay, anybody in here had their gallbladder removed? Okay, I've had mine removed. Yes?
You can eat liver. It has another use.
Yeah, that's nasty. All right, moving on here. So the gallbladder releases the bile there into the small intestines, which helps with digestion. And more specifically, it helps with digesting fat. Okay? Now, the most absorption, though, and the video is correct, takes place in the small intestines. And if you use a microscope, you can see the structures, villi, which they actually have a microscopic look at that on page 297. I think it kind of looks like, this is stupid, but have you seen like, like rolls of salami? You know, it looks like rolls of salami, doesn't it? Anyway, so it looks like rolls of salami. Anyway, but you see your gallbladder in that picture, your pancreas, small intestines, large intestines, and others. But anyway, so the remaining undigested food then enters into the large intestines, so or colon, which is the same thing, where the water and minerals are absorbed. It needs that water and minerals there, and then the remaining removes into the rectum and then is eliminated through waste. Okay, now. So what is the primary function of the large intestines? It's where it needs to absorb the water and minerals, okay? What organs are in the alimentary canal? What organs are in that canal? The mouth, the esophagus, the stomach, the small intestines, and large intestines. What are your accessory organs?
Things.
Okay, your gallbladder, pancreas, your liver, salivary glands. Accessory, when you think of an accessory, when you buy something, you want to find out what kind of accessories you can get with it. In other words, it can function without them, but you can add these accessories on. So these are accessory organs. However, you can function without your gallbladder, because I have now for years. But I really think you need your pancreas, and I know you need your liver. So anyway, you definitely need your liver. It's important to remember that the digestive system works to extract the nutrients that you take in from your food, and then your body uses that, takes it through a process to absorb and to use for healthy reasons, to help your body to grow or to stay healthy, and then it excretes and gets rid of what is not needed. Okay? Let's look at the review questions on 14B. We're going to talk through these together. Okay?
Do we have to write them down?
No, you do not. And this is not going to be on the screen, but we're just going to talk through them in the book.